founder, CEO, moving magnate for Move Happy. I don't know. Why not, All right, we're gonna be on a couple seconds here. I'm gonna open up, and then we're gonna bring people in and comment and stuff, ask questions.
How it's happening?
What's that?
That's the dynamic. That's how it goes.
It's gonna be real, but feel free to ask me questions. We can ask the audience questions, whatever. Hey everybody, welcome to Love & Relo, the voice of the relocation industry. I'm coming to you in stereo right now. Let's see here what we're doing. We're all over the place. We're trying new things over here, y'all. All right. Let's see here if we can get Lior in here. We're bringing him in. Hang in there. Hit that like button. Get in the comments. Check this out. See if this works here. Oh my goodness. We had it, y'all. We had it. Hold on. Good times. Let's see here. Oh man, what a day. Out here in LA, broadcasting live. There he is. Lior, we're gonna switch him up. Maybe do this around a little bit. I don't know. There we go. Samara, fix our headline so everybody didn't get confused. Appreciate you, everybody. Thank you for watching today. Welcome to Love & Relo, the voice of the relocation industry. I'm here with my good friend Lior Oren, the founder and CEO of Move Happy. We're here in beautiful LA. How's it going, Lior?
Doing well.
Yeah, it's another day in the moving business, huh?
Another day in the moving business.
Yeah. LA's beautiful, man.
I wouldn't say that.
You wouldn't say that, but you got beaches, you got mountains, you got everything out here.
We took you to the right places,
Hollywood, West Hollywood.
Yeah.
Is there a big difference between West Hollywood, North Hollywood? Is there a South Hollywood?
No South Hollywood, no, we're not going south.
We don't go south, okay.
But yeah, huge difference. It's different cities. West Hollywood is like where all the fun goes. Hollywood is a big mess, as we know. And North Hollywood is just like where we are right now, which is a so-so place.
Yeah, it's people work out here.
Yeah.
We've got some industrial going on out here. We're here at the Move Happy HQ office right here where everything goes down. You can kind of see a little bit behind me what's going on. You're good, Lior. Do the L again one time. Put the there you go. We'll zoom in there. Perfect. Beautiful. Get in the comments here. I want to hear your questions, your thoughts. Just put some love in there for Lior. Hit that like button right now. We got people checking in for us. We're going to be talking about everything from Ironman triathlons and ultra marathons that Lior gets into to growing this business and his story, starting out in Israel and just kind of growing it and traveling the world. It's an amazing story, this entrepreneurial journey. It's really the American dream, honestly. I've had a really wonderful time hanging out the last couple of days here at Move Happy and seeing what these guys got cooking. It's incredible the size and scale, frankly, of this business that you guys have grown here. It's truly remarkable. So get in the comments, everybody. I want to hear from you. Adrian Grimes checking in from Glomo HQ in Dallas. Not happy that I didn't get an invite. Ready to hear more about Move Happy. Well, thanks, Adrian. Next time, buddy. Next time. They're already getting tired of me. They're ready for Adrian. They're ready for Glomo 2.0 out here. Let's see here. We got Karen Sanborn. Hello, Ben. Hello, Karen. Good to see you. Hit that like button. Hope you're doing well out there. Very good. Okay, cool. We had a little camera snafu. Get in the comments here, y'all. Appreciate you. Lior, I want to ask you, though, tell us a little bit about your story. Your story is incredible, man. How did you get started? I mean, before Move Happy was even a thing, how did you even kind of get into the business?
So it was an accident, never planned.
The best things are there, right?
Yeah, but I never heard of anyone that got into this industry by intention. So
you didn't go to college for this and get a master's in moving household goods?
Exactly. I mean, you're not waking up and dreaming that one day you're going to be a mover or something like that. So yeah. So it was an accident. I was in my early 20s and I was traveling in South America and I ran out of money. So I called my parents and told I was in Venezuela at that time.
What brought you to South America? Why did you even go to South America? I've never even been to South America. Shout out to Jana on the team from Brazil, by the way.
Yeah. So I'm Israeli, as you mentioned, and I did military service over there. And it's a thing that when you're done with a military service in Israel, A lot of people go just to travel after, 21, 22 years of being in places that everybody tells you what to do. You're just gonna want to go away. So when I finished my military service, I traveled to South America. Been there a little bit over a year. Ran out of money.
What were you doing down there?
Just, backpacking. Started in Ecuador, went south to Peru, Bolivia, Chile, Argentina, Brazil.
Did you have like a lot of money to do all this?
No.
How are you getting around?
So it's backpacking.
But did you like walk or hitchhike or like
All of that.
all of it?
We walked, we hitchhiked, we even rent a car in Chile and Argentina. We did it with like a big van, five friends. Just living out of, I don't know, something like equal to $600-700 a month. So it was easy, but eventually I ran out of money, a little bit over a year since I started. It was in Venezuela. And I called my parents, dear parents in Israel, told them, guys, I have no money.
And they said what? They said deal with it.
They said come back home.
They said come.
So I was planning to go back home. I was already registered to start studying in a university in Israel. The mistake that they did, that they bought me a ticket via New York, with a stop in New York.
With a layover, was it like a layover?
It was, 2 days layover, so I said, if I'm going to stop in New York, let me see the city.
Yeah.
So, never been there. So,
one last hurrah before you go back to Israel.
Exactly. And that was a big mistake for them. So, of course, I got to New York, I was impressed, I met some other Israeli people that were living over there, stayed with them, loved it, didn't want to go back
never
home.
got on the flight?
I got on the flight to New York, I never got to the flight back to Tel Aviv, to Israel. Didn't happen.
And were they like, Lior, where are you?
So no cell phones back then. I mean, it was all done by either collect calls and those boxes that we had back then on the street.
Yeah.
No cell phones.
Payphones, yeah.
So
calling cards.
Yeah, calling cards, exactly. So I just called them, told them, listen, I'm not coming back, I'm staying here.
What was their reaction?
You better come.
On that flight.
Yeah, we're not gonna. I mean, they were cool eventually. They didn't
have a choice.
They didn't have a choice. They took care of all my things over there. Cancel the registration with the university. They were upset. They're both teachers, so for me not to come back and go to college or university was a big thing. They were probably a little bit upset, but they're cool. Until today, super cool people.
So they valued education, and they kind of were excited about you going to university.
Yeah.
And you said, I'm going to figure this thing out in the U.S. But did you have any idea of what you were going to do in the U.S., or were you just kind of trying to keep the party going, keep the lifestyle, keep the adventure going,
100%.
or were you already starting to think about what you were going to do for work?
So I already saw that a few of my friends that also Israelis that lived there for a while, some of them worked in the moving industry for companies, Israeli companies or something.
Big community of Israelis.
Big community of Israelis. It's a big thing.
It's a big thing.
It used to be a big thing back then. And we're talking about the late 1990s. So I got there. There was a big community of Israelis that lived in either Brooklyn or Queens, getting up 5 a.m., going in a subway to somewhere, getting to like a shady office, whatever, in the dark outside.
Were the offices in Manhattan or Bronx
Brooklyn. Back then, most of them were in Brooklyn, some in the Bronx, some on Queens, not Manhattan.
You can't afford like a warehouse or a yard in Manhattan.
No. Today is completely impossible. Back then, I think there were like maybe one company that had a warehouse in Manhattan. Anyway, I said, I had a free day over there, so I said, why won't I join you? So I happened on the subway, 5 a.m. in the morning. We got into that moving company.
So you just said, I'll come along?
Yeah, I'll come along, join you guys. We'll see what's going on.
I did that too.
Yeah. What did you do?
I did the same thing. My buddy had a job at the Time Life building.
Okay.
And he was in the music industry. And he had graduated from college. My buddy here lives in Hollywood. Okay. He had graduated from college. and I was a club promoter, he was a club promoter, and I wanted to get into the music industry. I'm like, well, that seemed like a natural progression.
Yeah.
He was already working there full time. I said, hey, I'll intern, right? You know, we all heard the stories, these music industry interns just showing up and trying hard and getting a job, and all of a sudden they run a record label one day, right? And so I started Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I started tagging along with him into the city. I was still enrolled in school upstate New York in Albany, but I came down, I crashed on his parents' couch, I went in with him on the train in the morning, and I just went to work with him. Just sat at the desk and said, what can I help you with? Can I stuff a box? Can I make a phone call? Can I do whatever? I was the promotions department for Atlantic Records.
How old were you?
I was 22, you know?
Same age.
Yeah, and about 6 weeks in, I was like, you know, I'm promoting these records to the radio station. I was like, it would really help if I had a phone to call these people and maybe a computer to write some emails. And they said, yeah, sure, no problem, we'll work on that for you. And then they came back to me a couple hours later and they're like, do you work here? Because I can't find you in the employee registration. I went to go assign you a phone and you're not even on the rolls here. You know, what are you doing? And they're like, you've got to leave. You can't be here if you don't work here. And I'm like, but I'm interning. They're like, but we don't even know who you are. I think I took a couple Mike Jones t-shirts on the way out and a Paul Wall poster or something like that. But yeah, that was my short stint working at a record label. So I know all about what you're talking about, just tagging along, trying to get a foot in the door, right?
Yeah. So that's actually, when you say trying to get a foot in the door, it's very approximately what happened. So I just got there. And back then, I mean, we were a crew of, 5, 6 people. So they opened the back of the truck, they throw you inside the back of the truck, you just...
Sounds kind of sketch.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Open the truck, throw you
in
in.
darkness, you're sitting on the moving pads, you know, just sitting...
So you riding the job in the back of the truck?
Yes.
You're not even in the cab, you're not even sitting on the chair.
No.
You're sitting on moving pads in the back. Hey, get in the comments right now, I want to hear what your thoughts are. What was the crazy story you had getting started in your career, or traveling, or trying to get your foot in the door? Did you ever do anything crazy to try to get an opportunity? Put it in the comments. I want to hear from you. We're going to hear the rest of Lior's story here. We got people checking in here. Jillian Guzda saying such a cool story. That's all. Yeah, Karen Sanborn saying shout out, hello from Flower Mound. What's up, Karen? Anthony Ship says aloha, Ben and Lior.
Good friend.
What's that?
He's a good friend, Anthony Ship.
Anthony, shout out to Anthony. We love Anthony. Aloha, Anthony. Loving the energy and insights on LOVE+RELO. Mahalo for all of you do to bring our industry together. Keep rocking. And hey, Anthony, shout out to the Hawaiian Mover Association as well. Congrats on your appointment, Mr. President. John is saying happy Thursday, everyone. Really looking forward to knowing more about Lior and Move Happy. And she says, yeah, because South Americans are amazing. South Americans, I mean.
She's right.
She is, yeah.
Especially
right.
Brazilians.
Wow.
Very happy people.
Nice. All right, so you're in the back of this moving truck and you're going to a job. Do you even know where you're going? Do you know what you're doing?
No idea. They never told us. It wasn't really matter. It can take an hour and a half, 30 minutes. You don't know where you're going. Suddenly the doors are open. They stop. Doors are open. You see sunlight. And you're in front of a house.
You see sunlight?
That's maybe the sketchy part. But the good part is that by the end of the day, I mean, after you worked hard, you sweat, you did whatever you had to do. At the end of the day, and that's a good shout out for the New York people, they're super generous. So back then, I think you're getting $7 an hour or whatever. That wasn't the thing, you get a tip usually from each job.
New Yorkers good tip.
Super good tippers. I remember that the first day I went back home with a bill of, I think about somewhere between $150 to $200 just from the tips.
Just the tip.
I said, what? I could live in South America for almost a month.
Back to
That was the plan. That was the plan.
Really? So you were going to make a little money, go back to South America?
Yes, and I actually did it also. So it wasn't my only trip to Central and South America. So that was the plan.
You were getting the tips. Were they paying you cash too?
No, the movers pay cash, and also the tips from the customers at the end of every day.
And where were you living when you were doing this?
So at the beginning, I joined my friends in Brooklyn. I think it was like somewhere in Avenue T, and I I forgot the area, like deep inside Brooklyn.
You were just like sleeping on a couch or something?
Yeah, oh yeah, on a couch, definitely couch.
How long?
4, 5, 6 guys in one little apartment, yeah.
I wish you didn't say one couch. No, but how long were you doing that for?
So in that specific arrangement, about 2 months,
Yeah, wow.
saved a lot of money,
Yeah.
told my parents I'm not coming back.
What did they say?
Don't ask. Yeah, a lot of silence, but it was cool.
Did you know in that moment that this is going to be a career for you?
No,
It was just a hustle. It was just
a hustle.
cash.
Yeah, to get some cash and keep on
Keep the lifestyle, keep
exactly.
the adventure going.
Yes. So, but then they offered me that company or people from the company, you're doing really well and we want you to be a driver and to drive long distance with those yellow Ryder trucks. And I said, well, why not? I mean, that's fine. I mean, it was weird to me to drive a truck, you know. In Israel, they used to drive like a little car, and suddenly I'm going to drive a 24, 26-foot truck. It was a little bit intimidating.
Sure. In the country that you just got into,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I don't know the road, I don't know the rules, but I was adventurous enough to say yes. And I think the first trip that I had was to San Francisco.
Wow.
It just gave me...
From New York to San Francisco, your first trip?
Yeah. So they told me to stop in a gas station and buy the Ron McKinney maps.
The Rand McNally Atlas.
Yeah,
do
whatever.
that again real quick. We'll zoom in on you there, buddy.
Okay.
Yeah, this is incredible. Get in the comments here, y'all. I'm dying to know what you're thinking of this right now. Would you do this? Would you hop in a truck, be from another country here for 2 months and drive to freaking San Francisco? I mean, you talking about going over the Rocky Mountains?
Yeah.
You talking about like questionable equipment here. This is a rental truck.
Yeah.
People beat the brakes off this thing.
I remember it was a GMC.
You remember the big model? Everybody remembers their casket. They're like, it was a GMC.
So you know, I bought all those little maps. They loaded my truck, so it was fully loaded. I drove all the way to San Francisco.
This is before GPS, so you had
before GPS, only maps and phone cards. You know, if you need to call the office to ask them anything, 1-800 number from a box. Yeah, we're talking about 1998 right now. So yeah, no cell phones yet.
Incredible.
Yeah, so you know, I did that trip. They left me in San Francisco for almost a month, San Carlos area.
What do you mean they left you there?
I mean, they had plenty of stuff for me to do over there, pickups, deliveries, like put it on from a little storage unit here to take it to a customer's house, pick up from here, get it there. Stayed there for almost a month, and then I drove back to New York, New Jersey.
Where did you stay for a month in San Francisco while you were doing local?
Motel 6 in San Carlos, I remember the place. Motel 6 in San Carlos.
This is incredible.
Yeah. So I liked it. I made good money back then, and I actually called some of my friends from Israel and told them, guys, come on here, we can do some money over here and save. And they came, my brother also came, and we worked together. We did groups of 2. We rented an apartment in Brooklyn for us, so we were 6 friends staying in one apartment, saving and going out for trips all over the country. I got to know the US and the US road and the US town so good. So in some places I didn't even use the maps. I just know where I'm going. Yeah, I knew all the interstate. I really got to know. I think I've been in all 48 states. Wow. Driving. So I did it for a while, saved enough, and at some point I met a guy from the company that used to run the warehouse for them, and he asked me, I want to open my own place, where should I go? So I told him on all the places that I visited as a driver, and we got to speak about Phoenix, Arizona. It's a very fresh place, developing.
Booming at that point, just booming with suburbs and everything.
Prices are very low still, and I told him, Phoenix, Arizona, and he said, you know what? He was much older than me. He was in his 50s, I believe, back then. Now I was in my early 20s. So would you fly with me over there to take a look for a few days? And I said, yeah, why not? I mean, I was more or less enough with all these trucks and everything. I said, yeah, I'll go with you. We flew there. He had some meetings. I came with him to the meetings. He liked the place, decided that he wanted to do it. It was February of '99. And I decided that I want to travel again. So from Phoenix, Arizona, I took a bus down to the border with Mexico, Nogales. And I just crossed the border and started my second trip. So I took it was a long trip, 10 or 11 months. So I started in Mexico and I started traveling south by myself. I stayed in Mexico for quite some time. Then I did Guatemala, El Salvador, and then I went to Honduras. And in Honduras, I heard about a few Israelis that went to the Caribbean side, the north side of Honduras. There are a couple of islands that people are diving over there, Utila and Roatan. And I really wanted
Roatan.
to. Yeah, Roatan.
My dad has dived in Roatan.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, he loves it.
Amazing.
Because you love to dive.
I love to dive.
Was that your first diving experience there?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I got to Roatan, and I went to one of the diving schools over there and started to do my open water, my advanced. Then I did my rescue, and then the dive master, and I become not an instructor, but I had the ability to take groups into divings and teach them stuff. So I stayed there for about 8 to 9 months, little islands, no electricity, like generator. There's a generator, 5-6 restaurants, very small place. I had like a small little house on the beach, $50 a month. So, life was super cheap over there. The diving school paid me a little bit of money, so I stayed there. I did hundreds of dives, amazing experience, had no clothes,
You didn't even need me.
Yeah.
So you just worked as a diving instructor.
Yeah.
You worked at a dive for a while, but how did you come back around and get in the comment, Shaw, because this story is riveting to me. I'm loving the story. Let me know if you're liking it too. Hit that like button. I want to know here. Sorry, this thing is very touchy with the hands. My bad. Anthony says those were the good old days. Thomas guide,
Yes,
phone
Thomas
cards, and road tripping, but making money. Yeah, for sure, man. Hit that like button. Tia says, and just like that, we now have one of the most amazing places to work and the most amazing adventurous boss to work for and work with.
Thank you, Tia.
That's awesome, Tia. It's good meeting you here too. Hit that like button, get in the comments here. I want to know your thoughts. Ask us questions. If you've got questions for Lior, ask him. I've got him here. He's captive. He can't go anywhere. It's like he's in the back of the truck with the doors closed right now. Okay, he's not going anywhere. We're going to ask him any questions we want to ask him. But help me now. Flash forward from your diving in Central America. How did you get back into the moving biz?
Okay, so from South America, I flew, from Central America, from Roatan, I flew back eventually to Israel.
Did the money run out or something?
The money ran out.
Just get homesick? What?
Yeah, my parents are always there, very dominant mother. And they, on their own decision, decided to register me again for studying in Israel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it was, I think, October '99 when it started. So I came back, I think, September '99, went back to Israel and went directly to that course of studying. So I did my bachelor degree over there from '99 until 2002. But all along this time, in summers and other vacations, I flew to the US to my friend in Phoenix, Arizona that already opened a company, an established company, and I just drove trucks for him for 2 months.
During the summer?
Yeah, during the summer.
Summers in Phoenix.
Yeah,
Sounds lovely.
Saved some money, went back to Israel, and the day I finished, I completed my bachelor degree, I knew what I'm going to do, took a plane, the day, I think it was May 1st of 2002, took a plane, flew to the US, Phoenix, Arizona, and it was all ready for me. He told me, listen, the company is yours, not ownership, but manage it, it's all yours, let's do whatever we can do. So And at that time also in Israel, I forgot to mention, I met Anat, which is my wife, so we flew together. We came here together as two young people with a bachelor degree and $200 in our pocket. We really have no money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's awesome.
yeah, so it was 2002. We got to the U.S. Started working over there. We arranged all the working visa and everything, so it was all fine with that. And started my life over there.
Yeah. How long did you work there at that shop? Running that shop.
Yeah, I worked there for a little bit over 5 years.
Wow, 5 years running.
5 years.
Running a location in Phoenix.
Yes. I mean, we grew a little bit, so we had really the company while I've been there really grew big. It become a nice operation. I stayed 5.5 years mainly because he did my papers, and we had some kind of an agreement that until I get my green card, I'll stay there, and that's what I did.
Sure.
When we finished those 5.5 years, I got my green card, and of course I had a very good relationship with the person, and I told him that I want to move forward in my life. I want to be a business owner myself.
Right, because at that point you'd done everything. You'd worked on the trucks, you'd run the location, you'd made money and built businesses for other people, and now you felt like it was time to do it for yourself. And how old were you at that point?
At that point I was 32, I believe.
32, wow. And so what did you decide to do? Where'd you go?
So I looked for opportunities outside of Arizona because I didn't want to
compete with him.
Compete with him. Yeah, I still had a lot of respect to the person. And I found a little company that was in stress, about to close or go bankrupt.
Where was it?
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
Right here.
Here in LA.
And I said, okay, that's a good opportunity. I remember I really liked Phoenix, Arizona back then. I lived in Scottsdale, really loved that area. We didn't want to leave really. And I thought maybe I'd be able to do it somehow, stay in Arizona and manage the company in Los Angeles. And it worked exactly for about 6 months, with me sometimes flying early in the morning to LA and coming back on the last flight just to be home.
Yeah.
So it didn't last much, and I think that it was January of 2008 when I decided that I need to move to California, to Los Angeles.
Why was it important? Why do you think it's important for you to be here managing the business? Because we talk about this all the time nowadays, right? With this whole return to office thing, and, remote versus not remote, and things like that. I mean, as a business owner in your experience, I mean, you could have stayed in Scottsdale, you had a life there, and run the business remotely. Why did you think it was important to be back in LA?
So I felt that every time that I'm going there, staying for a day or two, good things are happening. People told me that they want me to be there. People felt safe. Things were moving, literally moving, when I was there. I think they needed really the leadership because the old owners just left a mess over there. They really needed a person, somebody to lead them. And
I totally agree with you, and shout out Max Lowy, I see you there, I love this story so far, he's saying, shout out to Max, get in the comments here, y'all, I want to hear your thoughts as well. But it's funny, when we talk about remote work, and we talk, wow, I like working remotely, and I'm more effective from home, and that is true, and I think about this a lot, because you hear business owners with one concept, and managers another, and accountants, and other people, and coordinators, and everyone kind of has their own opinion about this. And I think it's different based on what your job function is, right? Like a driver cannot do his job remotely ever, right? An accountant might be very good remotely, right? Just working through spreadsheets, doing billing and invoicing, whatever, right? I think when you talk about leaders and CEOs, that is a job that is very hard to do remotely. It is important for us to be in the room, to be learning from our people, influencing our people, constantly communicating vision. I heard one time somebody said that the CEO's job is really the chief repeating officer, the person that just continues to repeat the vision, the standards, the values of the company, so that everyone knows what we're all doing and how to get there. And I just find that that's something it's very important to be present for.
100%.
Has that changed? I mean, your business has grown quite a bit. I don't mean to get ahead of ourselves, but you've grown quite a bit. You have so many locations. You have so many things you're doing now. I know, and we're going to talk a little bit about, your family, and we're going to talk a little bit about your sports and everything that you're doing, which is super crazy impressive. But, do you think it's still important, or have you set up systems and you have people in place that you trust, and you don't have to be present as much? How do you navigate that? I'm just curious.
So I do have, we have in that company about 19 managers. Some of them are remote and some of them are together. But I can tell you that every time that I come into that office, and I'm coming, and meeting my managers face to face, and actually being here, just being here, even sometimes without doing anything, there's a huge effect to that. It's the dynamic, the energy, the security, the fact that they see that I'm involved, I'm interested, I care, means a lot to people. And when you interact with people face to face, things are happening. Things are always happening. When I stay, if I'll be home, it won't happen. Over the phone, the dynamic is not good enough. So I will be here as much as I can, being with the people, movers, helpers, drivers, managers, as much as I can. And things will happen. Things will evolve that way.
Yeah. It was funny because right before we got on camera here, we were having lunch in the break room, right? And it was funny, I was sitting there, it was you, another gentleman that works with you who's probably in the background somewhere.
Yeah.
A couple of them, right? We're just like talking, like just a couple of guys talking, right? Yeah. And I felt like the camaraderie. And I think that there's a certain type of, if you don't mind me saying so, a certain type of humility in the way that you lead, and you're kind of one of the guys. You're kind of one of the people.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously everyone respects that you're the CEO and you built this incredible moving company that's really pretty substantial. We're going to get into some of the things that people may not know about Move Happy. It's really impressive, but you're very much just one of the guys too.
Yeah. So yeah, I try to keep it that way. I in my day to day, of course I'm a simple person. I'm nobody. So. I'm not going to drive a fancy car, and I'm not going to wear fancy clothes, and it's just the way I live. I don't believe in flashing or anything like it. That's not who I am, and I actually like to be in the same level with my people over here, because first, we are in the same level. There's no difference between us. Mm-hmm. And second, I'm having a lot more fun with them being my friend than for them to be my employees, and that's how I see it.
Yeah, but I also see, I also noticed about you over the last couple of days that we've been around each other is you make decisions quickly.
Yes.
I mean, obviously you have great relationships and everything, but I mean, it is very clear. I mean, you are the decision maker, you make the decisions, and you move quickly. What y'all have accomplished since the firm was founded in 2008, you said?
Yeah.
2008, so 16 years in now.
Yeah.
You've got how many locations now?
So we have 2 locations in Hawaii, one in the Big Island and one in Oahu, which is our main location. We have 2 locations in New Jersey, one in the north, one in the south. We have 3 locations in California, one here in LA, not including the corporate office, of course, one in LA, one in Palm Desert, and one in the Bay Area. So those are our locations. In between we have our trailers and all the equipment, about 100 probably trucks and trailers. 7
locations, 100 trucks, doing international forwarding as well. I mean, you do a significant amount of that business as well, I've noticed.
Yes.
That's pretty impressive growth. I've talked to, I know owners of moving companies whose families have been doing this 100 years. And they haven't accomplished, frankly, the things that you guys have accomplished in the last, 16 years. How do you grow a business like that? I'm really just curious.
The first rule is not to be afraid to take, and that's what you said about me making decisions fast. I really not afraid to fail, and I failed so many times, probably more than I succeeded. And I'm not afraid from the consequences. It's affecting everybody. It's affecting my people, it's affecting my family, it's affecting me. And I learn how to live with it. So I'm making decisions. I don't afraid to make mistakes. I make mistakes, I fix it, and I'm trying not to make the same mistake again. Mm-hmm. So that's a big thing about my personality and my way. I'm trying everything. It sounds interesting, I'll do it. There's an opportunity in a different state, in a different country, I look into it. I'm going to go there myself, I'm going to explore, I'm going to make a fast decision, and I can say that there were really good deals that I made throughout the years, acquisitions, if it's companies, if it's real estate, buildings, warehouses, office buildings, and there were really bad ones that really got me behind. I can say that in 2014 I started all over again because of a big mistake that I made.
Wow.
All over again.
So 2008 you started, but then 2014 you say you basically started all over again.
All over from zero, from minus.
From minus.
Yeah, owing money to people.
So really, in a way, this company that we're looking at now, Move Happy, and everything you've accomplished, and I mean, this is a large company. I mean, I don't necessarily want to share revenue numbers or anything like that, but I mean, this is a very large company for the moving industry, and it's really been built since 2014, you're telling me?
Yes.
So really 10 years.
About that, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
The current structure and all of the assets are from 2014 and on. I lost everything before, that I had before. Everything, including personal stuff, including selling my house in order to keep the company
What did
afloat.
that do? Like, what was that like going through that personally? I mean,
It was, it also built me, so that's a good part. It built me and made me who I am today.
yeah.
A lot tougher, with thick skin, and being able to take failures and in a way.
Did it make you less afraid to fail or more afraid to fail?
Less.
Isn't that funny? That's so, because what you're talking about, resetting to zero or minus, that's probably one of my biggest fears, right? I mean, I think anybody that owns a business or even has a career, right? Whatever you've built up over time, the idea that all that can be taken away from you in a moment, right? Yeah. Like whether it's your 401k or it's your career or your reputation or your family, I mean, that's our biggest fear, well, one of our biggest fears, is going back to zero. And then you did it.
Yeah.
And so in some ways, was there like a freedom that comes with that, or like a...
You can say a freedom. I can tell you that until not long ago, I didn't even thought to secure all those assets that we have over here in a trust or in all these LLCs and a Wyoming company and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Because I was pretty sure that I'm doing the right way and I wasn't afraid to lose it at no point. So it gave me some kind of freedom, no fear, and in places that maybe people or competitors or other peers from the industry didn't took a stand, I did, and I stepped forward. And there were some deals that I wanted to take and I couldn't, and I wish I could. Great deals on the table, but I was really interested in anything.
Does it make you more aggressive or more conservative now?
More aggressive.
More aggressive. That's wild to me, man. Because it's like intuitively you would think it would make you like, okay, I learned my lesson. I'm going to be careful about doing this again, or I don't want to end up like that again, But you also, on the other hand, I could see like, well, shoot, I lost and built it once. I built it once, I lost, I built it again.
Yeah.
Maybe you learn some the ways to protect yourself and cover your downside a little bit.
Yeah, I learned about myself in that big failure of 2013, 2014. And as I mentioned, I'm not doing the same mistakes again and again and again. So I was pretty sure, and I'm still pretty sure that I'm not going to make that kind of mistake ever again and put this whole thing that we built over here and my employees also, everybody that works here, which is a second family to me, in risk.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it.
I love that, and I think our failure, and I love that you're so open about it, right? Because I think our failures, they're so much more interesting, right? Nobody wants to hear you sit here and talk about all your successes. I mean, let's be honest, it's boring, right? But I think we can all relate to our failures, and I tell my team I fail every day. I mean, I don't mean to shake their confidence in my leadership, but I'll be honest with you guys, I fail every day, and I'm sometimes I'm just making it up, and I'm hoping that it's going to work out, and I'm going to learn from it, like you said.
Give me an example for your last failure, or one of your last failures.
Last? I mean, what time this
Something
morning?
interesting. Oh my God.
Last year was a great example. I mean, gosh, the last 2 years have been just difficult as all get out for movers, for relocation, whatever, right? Last year, there was a point last year where I felt like I was going to go out of business. I was like, am I gonna run this thing into the ground? Am I gonna ruin this? I mean, I built this nice little business. I'm proud of it. We got this cool brand. We got great momentum. People love us. Client base. I mean, am I gonna run? And what happened was that our overhead was too much. Our overhead with our rent was too much. We had folks on the team that weren't productive, frankly. Let's just be honest, right? Who weren't paying for themselves. I had a lot of variable revenue with a lot of fixed cost, and I realized I need to flip that around. I need to have fixed revenue and variable cost. And so I did, and I flipped it, We had we were spending, our little company was probably spending about $65,000 in software expense. We're $1 million company, spending $65,000 in software expense, right? We were probably spending, $50,000 plus in travel, right? So, I mean, that's a significant percentage of our total gross revenue, right? And then we were just hemorrhaging cash because our revenue was so lumpy. It was like kind of how movers have peak season, except we had like months where we killed, and then several months where we just sucked.
How did you fix it? How by yourself?
Well, no, you have great people, right? And so I have a really fantastic shout out to Monica, our financial planning and analysis person, right? So she's more than a bookkeeper, she's more than an accountant, she's an FP&A person. So she came in, she took a look at it, and she said, "Wow, your consulting business is really nice." She's like, "You have this steady revenue, but it's been going down." I was like, "Yeah, we haven't been focusing on it as much. We've been focusing more on the recruiting business." Well, the recruiting business is great; it's home runs when you hit them. But if you keep striking out because the job market is tough and it's just, it's not there for you, you're gonna go out of business chasing that project work of recruitment. And so we turned it around by focusing on our consulting business, which was recurring revenue every month, and we built that up. And shout out to Jana, who's probably watching right now, but we built that business up, and we probably, since this time last year, we've probably 5x that business, maybe 4x that business, and that gave us a really nice baseline of revenue to cover our overhead expenses. So we weren't really, so no matter what happened with the recruiting, we were always kind of there covering our nut. And then when recruiting was hitting, we were boom, now we were making gravy. Nice. So that was a big thing that I think really changed for me. But I mean, that was a major lesson, that I learned. And so it was and there was a moment where I was like, I feel like I'm 2 weeks away.
Really?
Yeah. And the other thing I went out is I secured a line of credit. Okay. And that line of credit makes me sleep so much easier because even though you never want to use it, it's there if you need it.
Yeah, that's good. It's a good thing to have. Yeah, so same thing, I remember the mornings where I look for the bank accounts at that time and I see there's nothing there and I have payroll to do. Yeah. And I started to move stuff from here to there. Then I had to sell my home. So we sold home and moved into a rental. It shaped me the way I am right now. My wife as well, she was very much involved, and we learned so much from that experience that it made us much better and got us to this place. I'm not sure if without those failures I'll get to where I am right now. So
and you got to do it. In that moment, I mean, what was that like selling your house?
It's a house that I built myself, so it was we loved the house, back then I had already 3 kids, 3 girls,
Wow.
And we loved the house, but it was, I felt like a failure, of course.
Yeah, you feel like you feel like, oh, I built this wonderful home for my family. I have these neighbors. I have this community. I have, let's be honest, I have some standing in the community, right? You know? And then all of a sudden, I have to sell my home. You know, for me, we had to move from offices. We had this one office that was like kind of new, and then we had to kind of in some ways downgrade, although in a lot of ways it's an upgrade because now we have more space, but it's just not as nice of a neighborhood, things like that. I was renting a home. I couldn't even afford to buy a house for 3 years because I was taking everything, putting it into the business, and it's hard because you're embarrassed. You're just like, you feel like a failure, but you have to take that step backwards to take 2 steps forward. And now you positioned yourself beautifully, it looks like.
Yeah, it took time. But we also downsized to, I mean, we all moved to the warehouse in downtown. I got like a wake-up call that I need to be more involved in the business, because some of the reasons that it happened is that I was becoming less involved and I started to do other stuff, you know. I felt like on top of the Olympus, I did good, and I left the business in the wrong hands. And then I understood that I have to get back fully into the business, waking up every day at 4:30 a.m., driving all the way to downtown, working in dispatch, talking to customers, going out of trucks if I have to, doing everything from the beginning.
Getting back to basics a little bit, right?
Getting back to the basics.
This is awesome. You know, get in the comments here. Let us know what you're thinking out there. Hit that like button. Lior, people are loving your story here. Anthony Ship saying, Lior, I'm really feeling the fail fast and risk-taking energy you bring. It's inspiring and such a great reminder to stay bold. Thanks for sharing the mindset.
Thank you, Anthony.
Max Lowy, diversify services. Yeah, Max. We'll talk a little bit about diversification too, because y'all are in a lot of businesses. Jana checking in, still watching. Yeah, Jana, what's up? Anthony saying, Ben, you're giving us a masterclass on the pivot game. Seriously impressive stuff. Nice work with Glomo. You're a true champ. Thanks, Anthony. Appreciate you so much. Charles Beatty saying, great stuff, Ben, sharing many things that all business owners feel and making the tough decisions. Yeah, it's easy, right, to sit back and be like, oh, you know, the boss has it easy, the boss making so much money, blah, 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 blah. But you don't realize, like, you know, we got to make sure payroll funds before we even bring anything home, you know? And
let's say I didn't have all this white hair.
Yeah, it was all jet black, and now it's all white, right? No, but I think, you know, obviously you guys are making some really great stuff happen. You've been on the acquisitions trail, you know, lately. You've acquired several businesses this year. Why is acquisitions important for you? Talk about your strategy a little bit, because it's really impressive what you're building here.
Okay, so getting into a new, let's say for example, if I want to get into the international business or military, starting to learn it from scratch means that you need to hire people that did it, because you don't know how to do it, and build it from scratch may and probably will take years if it will even make it. So I found out already in the early years, I think 2014 actually, that it will be much easier to penetrate new industries, new if you're talking about international, local, different states, military, GSA, whatever, much easier to acquire somebody that's already doing it, successfully or not successfully, and get the manpower and the knowledge and maybe some assets out of it, and use it, improve it, and move forward. So yeah, we started doing it the early days, and now, for example, I wanted to go into COD International. So I looked for not such a big company, so it won't be a huge expense, but a smaller company that already doing it. Found one, talked to the owner, got into some kind of an agreement, and he's working right here. So we bought the company, he's working for the company, and it's doing well. Same thing that we did with Twin Oaks this year. It's a long deal. It's been going for almost 2 years. But thank you again for the sellers, the owners, the old owners, the O'Connors, John. and Mike. They were great. It took a lot of time due to bureaucracy or whatever.
There's a lot of bureaucracy in that space.
Crazy. But yeah, we ended up buying the Southern Jersey warehouse and the whole operation. Closing was in April of this year. Yeah, we love that business. We wanted to get into the southern bases of Jersey, and
how do you tell if a deal is a good deal? Like I know you make decisions quickly. You've been doing this for a while. You've done it really great. You've had mistakes you've learned from. So now you're at a point where I'm sure like these things kind of add up a lot quicker in your head.
Yeah.
How do you know if a deal is a good deal?
Okay, so I have a few factors. First, I like to meet, if you're talking about a business and not a building or a new thing, I like to meet the owners.
Why is that important?
Because the culture, if the culture is not there, it's not going to work.
But some people will say, well, screw it. I'm buying the business. I'll change the culture. I don't care necessarily about the owner. I'm going to be the new owner. Well, why does it matter?
What I learned from my experience, that culture is one of the hardest things, if even possible, to change. We're talking about a big group of employees, 30, 40, sometimes more, coming and changing their culture remotely. In California, there are, for example, New Jersey, Hawaii, wherever they are, is impossible. It's just not going to work. So if the culture is not close, that's already something that's a red flag for me. Usually I'm not going to touch it. And with John and Mike, I immediately saw that it's not only that the culture is okay, it's good. The people themselves, when they told me that, that they're going to be there for me, doesn't matter until when, and it was a handshake kind of deal.
Right.
Everything was on paper, but
I love that. You said something about handshake deal, right? And I know you have contracts. I know you've formalized everything. But I have a philosophy, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. But I don't do business with anybody that that I wouldn't feel comfortable shaking hands and calling it good, right?
Yeah.
Mazal, right? It's like, we got a deal, Yeah. And the paperwork is important, and we'll have a contract just in case, God forbid, or maybe it helps to clarify finer points maybe that we just didn't understand. But if I can't feel like I could just shake hands with you and feel like I trust you enough that it's good, then no amount of paperwork and contract is ever going to make it good either.
100%. Yeah. So I'm there, exactly there. That's why I like to meet the owners or the sellers or you name it. That's the first thing I do. Yeah. And then we can start negotiating the deal. So yeah, that's about culture and the people. It's in our industry, we're not a technology company or anything like it. It's all about that.
Well, and really, what is a business anyway? You have hard assets in this business, right? So you definitely real estate, obviously, but even without real estate, you got the trucks. But after that, you've got people. You're buying the employees and the client customer relationships. More people, 100%. Right? And so that's really important. So looking at the culture and things like that, and the ownership and the vibe there and the trust there. What else is important in an acquisition for you?
So we're looking always for the added value. What value that acquisition will give us. So it can be new market. It can be the real estate, which is a big thing for me. It can be knowledge, database, data, many things. So we're looking for all those aspects, but more than that, I'm trying to see, if the business is doing everything that it can, and I cannot bring myself value to that business, what did I do over here? I probably want to buy it in a prime price. And it's not going to get better. Yeah, it's only going to get worse, right? It's already running as good as it can run, and so then you come in, really might mess it up, who knows, right? So is there do you look for owners that maybe are at a point of retirement, or maybe they've been kind of relaxing for a while and kind of doing less and less and things like that? So I'll give you two examples. Two businesses that we purchased. One is Acme Moving and Storage out of Palm Desert, California. Which has a great reputation. But they were single. All they did, they had no advertising over there. All they did are some accounts like the Home Depot, Lowe's, some resorts in the area, and all the jobs came from there. They did like great charities as well, which we are continuing right now. But all the work came from there. They are not so far away from 29 Palms. They never touched military jobs. They didn't do long distance, mainly locals. They didn't do international. There were a lot on the table over there that they never ever touched.
Wow.
So over there it was pretty obvious to me that me stepping in, immediately getting a lot of value into that company and make it a much valuable assets for myself. We also purchased the warehouse over there, which is an amazing warehouse, and the price was right. So that was during COVID.
And you like real estate as part of your deals, generally speaking?
Yeah.
Some people hate real estate, some people love it. Why do you love it?
I love real estate because first, it's a fact that I had many real estate transactions during my life over here in the US, and I never failed a single one of them. Each and every one of the real estate deals that I had did good to me. I'm not selling real estate. This is like a philosophy for me. I'm keeping everything, and the appreciation in value that happened to all those assets, either in my personal houses or the commercial and industrial ones, warehouses, office buildings, did amazing.
Now, can you also leverage the equity for
100%.
purchases?
Yes.
See, that's also nice too.
Yes.
So you hold it, you're paying towards equity, right, when you pay your mortgage, but it also appreciates, which is also equity you didn't have to pay in, but now you can draw on to leverage for future acquisitions.
Yeah.
So it's like, you can, that's kind of beautiful.
Yeah. So I think that's what a lot of businessmen are doing. You're leveraging out of other people's money or banks for that purpose. You're investing a down payment, and they are bringing all the money, and you're the only one that's enjoying the appreciation in value. Mm-hmm. So I believe, that's a strategy, using other people's money and enjoy all the benefit coming from this.
So what are areas, and shout out to everybody watching right now, get in the comments here. Tia is saying, Lior, the employees have never felt these failures. I guess that's a testament to
we're too nice.
And insulating people from the challenges, right? But I wanted to. So you kind of outlined your acquisition strategy and everything, and do you think you have more acquisitions to come? Is that going to continue to be the MO?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
all the time.
Where do you see Move Happy being in? I'm not going to say 5 years. 5 years too long. 3 years.
I'm not sure if I want to share it.
That's fine.
Yeah. Well, we have this big dark cloud of GHC on our heads, which is affecting also us. I don't know where it's going. I have my own TSPs, international and domestic. Most of my Hawaii operation based on our TSP and some other TSPs that I'm service over there. So I'm not sure what is going to happen. So it's really hard to predict. But I'm looking to get into new adventures that are not only household goods, like freight forwarding, logistics.
Sure.
And we're doing it right now, senior living.
Yeah, where do you think the growth is right now? Because we're going through our second straight year where the general residential moving industry has just been depressed, right? Home sales are at a at a low for a decade or more now, for 2 years in a row. A lot of people think that it's going to be energized next year with interest rates continuing to drop, and just people are excited, cautiously optimistic about that. But now's the time where everybody's looking around and thinking about where the growth opportunities are. Where do you see growth opportunities?
Okay, so I agree with you regarding the COD business. What was probably the lowest year that 2024 that we had since a long time ago, and I'm not really 100% optimistic about where it's going next year. I'm not sure if the new president, Trump, the fact that you want to have custom fees, it's probably going to increase prices over here in the U.S. for everything, because almost everything comes from outside.
China, Mexico,
Yeah.
I mean, those are the two countries
Yeah.
targeted, yeah.
So if prices goes up, we're talking about inflation, and when we have inflation, usually interest rates goes up in order to suppress the inflation. So,
Right.
and if interest rate will keep going up, the housing market goes hand in hand with interest rates. So.
Yep.
I don't know what to expect, so I can't I can't even plan on that market to get better. So my plans specifically is, as I mentioned before, doing commodities, not only household goods, other commodities. Hospitality is a big thing for us already, and
Sure.
we want to expand it a little
Like
bit.
the hotel projects and
Yeah.
FF&E projects,
Yeah.
O&I work, yep.
Yeah, senior living, which we all become senior at some point, and it's a big thing over here.
We're all getting older, aren't we?
Yeah. So getting inside that, move management maybe. We're looking on a lot of avenues over here. I hired new people. We're looking into whatever that we can do, not to be like fully dependent on household goods.
Yeah, residential, COD work. I mean, I think the senior moving thing is a really interesting opportunity. I think it's not as easy as people think. You know, people think, oh, it's just moving old people. Well,
not easy at all.
there's a lot of organizing, there's a lot of packing, there's a lot of understanding how to maneuver in these senior living facilities. There's just a lot of care that goes into it, I guess, and different services maybe than we've traditionally done. I mean, so often movers are like, I don't touch that, I don't touch that, I need to create that, I'm not taking the TV off, I get a third party for that, I'm not, and the senior folks just want one person to do everything and not really have to think about it. And so I think, but when you figure out how to do it, I think it's going to be very lucrative, and you're in Palm Desert, which I think a lot of people retire from.
Bay Area also.
Yeah.
A lot of people retire over there.
Right, and so, and I think it's interesting because, folks are, generally have been living longer, although we may have peaked there, but generally are living longer, and I feel like we're getting older faster, but we're living longer. So like, people aren't in as good a shape, so they're getting old. Not you, you've been amazing. Me, I'm talking about myself. I'm getting old fast to the point where I'm like, I'm not moving myself. I'm not. Gosh, I'm 42 years old, and I couldn't load a U-Haul right now if I wanted to, right? And so we're getting older faster, but we're living longer because medicine's just keeping us alive, even though we're not. And so I think we're old for a lot more of our life than we were in the past.
It's only growing to that direction.
I'm going to be old for half my life. I'm basically starting now. I'm old now for half my life, if I'm lucky. And so I think there's a lot of opportunity there. So I think that's really cool and to think about. And I love the branding too with this Move Happy stuff. I mean, talk to me a little about the branding, because I've worked for some companies where branding is so important, and I believe that you can get about a 10 to 20% premium on service when you have a very strong brand, a household name, because you're getting the call first. And if you get the call first, you're going to look 70% of those off the bat. And it's not going to come down to price because the brand is so strong. Why has the branding been so important? Talk to me about this Move Happy, because it wasn't always Move Happy, was it?
No, it was City Moving before.
City Moving, not a bad name, City Moving.
Yeah, but it's really generic. There's nothing special about it.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah, so first, a lot of people are mistaken and still call us happy movers, and
the movers are happy, guys, but it's more like you moving happy.
Yeah, I mean, it was an intention of saying it the other way around. Actually, it came from one of the managers over here, Arnon. He came up with a name, And even in the times of city moving,
This is ironic, by the way. Can we talk about Arnon, okay? Love Arnon, by the way. Shout out to Arnon Chen over here. But this guy's the least happy-looking guy I know, okay? And he got Move Happy. Where's Arnon? Hey, can we get his face real quick over here for a second? No, I love this guy. He's great. I've been riding around in a pickup truck for 2 days with this guy. I love him. But I just think it's funny with Move Happy, right? We do have a question real quick, though, okay? We want to always prioritize your questions, so get them in the comments here. Let us know what you think. We'll get back to the discussion, but Anthony Ship's got a question. He says, great discussion, guys. Quick question. How do you approach shifting operations teams to embrace a white glove, empathy-driven style for moving senior living clients? We'd love to hear your thoughts. I mean, it's got a great point, right? You can't just say, oh, I want to do this. Like, you got to shift over operationally.
so we started it, and we started it really small with one crew, which we trained especially for that. We call all those moves VIP. So there's special handling. There's a specific vehicle that they're going to drive, that they're driving to do all those jobs.
Why is the vehicle important?
It's a part of the branding. If you look on the walls over here, you'll see all our vehicles are branded.
Up here.
The pink ones. And
See there you go. The zoom out's helping me right now. The pink.
So the pink vans that you see over there next to the SoFi Stadium, these are the ones that we're using for...
Let me see if I can zoom in here. Let's see if we can do this here. I'm gonna zoom in and let's see if I can show you guys this pink truck over here. Can you guys get this here? Look at this. Look at the beauty. I don't know if you can see that. That's beautiful. I like it.
Yeah,
and the pink, and I see different colors too.
Yeah,
You got the pink, you got the blue.
Yeah.
Not one color. Most people just pick a color and go with it. Not you.
Tell you what my problem was. If you look on those trailers
You got me
over
running
there,
like your van of white over here. You got me running over here. Can you see this? Can you see? Keep going, keep going. Over here, can you see this? Here, let me see if I can go this way. You see the trucks over here? I don't know if this is working, guys. There we go, I don't know. But yeah, so there's a lot of different colors, but what's the thought there?
So we started with that blue color at the beginning. I love this color. And
I'm trying to get this to follow me right now.
I can bring
These
this
cameras are too much here, let me see. Let me see here, guys. All right, here we go. Look at me. These cameras are like AI, but sometimes it goes wrong, you know? Yeah. Anyway, sorry, go ahead, you were saying.
So just for Anthony's question, we're starting very small and training one crew to do not only that, but to be really, get specialized and get really good at what they're doing. And as it will grow, and right now it's still small, that kind of business, we'll train more and more people to do it's not going to be like a full transition all at once. It's going to be really gradually.
Yeah, and there's certifications too. I actually talked to a gentleman at your Palm Desert location, Doug, and he was telling me about he was getting certified through NASM, the National Association of Senior Move Management, and so I think that helps a lot too when your operations staff start to get certified.
Getting into conventions and stuff like that. Like the same we're doing over here. There's a whole world of the senior living that is out there, and you need to just learn how to get there. So
yeah.
And back to the trucks. We started with the blue, and everybody were telling us that we look like Amazon.
Is that a bad thing or a good thing? I don't know.
Listen, you want to be unique. You want to be special.
Yeah.
We invested a lot in that brand and branding, and then you have like, I don't know what, we already had wrapped 8 or 10 of our trailers. We have about 20 or 20 something of them. 10 were already completely wrapped with that blue, and people were telling you, oh, here's your trailer, and I'm looking, and it's Amazon, and I say, okay, I did all that work, and everybody thinks that I'm Amazon, so nobody going to see me.
Talk about failures, right? Talk about things that you make decisions. Shoot, I should have thought about that for a second. So bad decision. But you know what? Now you had 10 like that, but you got 100 trucks, so you got 80, 90 more. You can go with another color. But then I see you got blue, but then you got some purple.
We have purple, we have red, we have camouflage, we have...
You know what I like here? You're testing them all. You're like, you know what? Why make a decision? Let's just test them all out and see what's up, you know?
Yeah, the pink sticked really hard, really good. All of our vehicles in Hawaii are pink.
Okay.
Yeah, all of them are pink, very distinguished from all the rest of the companies over there. We pretty much very, for Hawaii, it's very special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is pink going to be the color now, you think, going forward? Or we're not committing?
I'm not committing.
What about yellow? I don't see any yellow.
No yellow, you're right.
No, like that, like bright yellow. I don't like yellow, and there's a lot of like, rider trucks, Penske trucks that are yellow, right? But maybe like a pale yellow, like a happy yellow. But maybe
I'll rock one only for you.
One for me. One for me. All right. Well, hey, I guys got a truck, guys. And you did a camo one too for like the military.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So you're just having fun.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it.
And then Arnon's over here, he's got a t-shirt line going on. So you're over here painting trucks colors, he's over here making t-shirts.
Yeah.
Like, do you feel like, I mean, you guys are doing stuff that most moving companies are playing with.
Yeah.
Most moving companies are like, we've been a blue truck for 100 years, and you're over here playing with stuff.
I'm playing. I'm not sure which way is the right way. A lot of consultants are telling me you need to stick to one color, to one way. I know there's a lot of truth behind it and a lot of knowledge behind it, but I'm choosing right now the other way. And another failure.
Well, what if 99 people go this way with one color and you go the other way? I mean, who knows, right? I mean, it's something distinctive.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love it. Let's see here. Max is kind of happy. Yeah. Kind of happy. Anthony Ship, shout out to Arnon at Move Happy, super nice guy with that happy face, but don't let it fool you, there's a mastermind behind the smile. Adrian says smile, Arnon, yes. We love Arnon, we're just giving him a hard time here. It's interesting, I love the branding, I think it's really cool, I think it plays well in the consumer space as well. But I also know, corporate relocation is an area that you want to get into, and you're talking a little bit about. That's an industry that's very mature, and some people that are in it would say it's kind of, maybe its best days are behind it, but yet, you feel like there's opportunity there.
I feel that it's the same thing that they told me about military back in 2014 when I wanted to start with the military.
Yeah.
I'm not listening to all these things. I'm trying.
Yeah.
And I can allow myself to try things. And if it will work, I did amazing. And if it didn't work, another failure to the failure cabinet.
Yeah, but you should try. I'm like that too. I'm the type of person that if somebody tells me that I shouldn't do something, I'll be like, but why? Like, well, let me go find out. Because I don't know if it was a bad idea or if it was your bad execution. So I'm going to go find out myself.
Yeah. Always the right way. You should pick that all the time.
You have a lot of scars doing it that way, but it's a lot more interesting. And you know what? And you know why.
Scars are sexy.
Yeah, scars are sexy, Here we go. Max Lowe's got a question. He says, was the branding and positioning all done in-house, or did you use an outside agency for it?
So we did use an outside agency. We're using one right now, Impact, but the one that came up with the logo and the current design, it's actually a Hollywood one that's doing like movies, and they're working really hard with Disney. I think the name was Midnight Oil. Mm-hmm. They came up with the idea. It was super expensive, and we sat with like
they just ripped off the Amazon logo, a whole bunch of money for it. This thing works. Trust me, I've seen it.
With that smirk that goes to the side. So we don't have the arrow, and it's not like a complete round thing. It's like a smirk, but I love it. I mean, when they showed us, of course, a lot of things, and they kept that one for last. And when it came, and it was a whole presentation that they did to us.
That was the one.
And obviously. I really didn't think about Amazon back then.
It's good. I like it. And you know what else I like about it too? I feel like that's a logo and an ethos and a brand that you could send somebody a t-shirt in the mail and they might actually wear it. Like you could send like a relocation manager somewhere that t-shirt with a card saying, hey, thought you might like this, and they might wear it on a Saturday,
So maybe you remember in the last IAM, and actually in a few IAMs before, the giveaway that we give over there, we came with 1,000 t-shirts with different designs. You didn't get one?
No.
Oh my God.
Listen, I don't just pick up t-shirts from anybody, first of all. You got to understand that. Well, the odds that it's going to fit me are very low, okay? You got to understand. Like I'm gonna look like a sausage, and your shirt is not gonna look good on me. Okay, you don't want me to wear your shirt. I'm not a t-shirt model. Okay, I'm a scarf model. All right.
We get to
Let's go ahead and give away 1,000 t-shirts at the IAM.
Yeah, and I think almost all of them were gone by the end of the convention. So a lot of people are wearing them. Some people, I remember a guy from Panama that came and told us that he still have the t-shirt from the IAM 5 years before that we gave. He kept it. So yeah, we're doing the cool designs, always something different with a lot of colors. I'm sure some people that visit our booth over there remember those t-shirts. So yeah, just being creative.
Very cool. Anthony says the pink Move Happy trucks in Hawaii are awesome. They totally stand out and remind me of the bold T-Mobile magnets vibe.
Yeah.
Lior, I love how you embrace innovation and aren't afraid to shake things up in an industry full of opinions. Trying new things is how we grow. Keep leading the way. Yeah, man, for sure, 100%. You know what? Let's play a little game. We've been talking for a while. You've been really gracious with your time. Can we play a game? You like playing games? I know you're an athlete, and we never even talked about your athletics. Oh, look at this. Eileen says, I'm a scarf model, but I'm going to use that all the time now. Yo, shout out to Eileen. Love you, Eileen. Yeah, I'm a scarf model. This is my fall look. This is my fall sexy over here. Look, okay, this is what I do now. It's not an ascot, it's a scarf, baby. I got my pink though. Shout out to the Move Happy folks. I'm a little pink over here going on.
Yeah, one of my managers, Yuval, came to him today and told him, listen, I'm not sure what is your position, but one thing is for sure, you need to teach all of us how to dress.
Yeah, I could teach you, but I don't think you'd listen. I think it's very much a part of the culture that we don't wear suits around here. We'd rather get things done than look like we're getting things done. I know, but yeah, I stand out a little bit with the jacket here. I don't mean to scare the movers, but you know, I gotta listen. You know what I tell people? I say, listen, if I had your build, I wouldn't wear all this, okay? I'd wear as little as possible if I looked like this guy, but you know, I don't. So yeah, that was a funny moment. Let's see here. You know, we're gonna get into overrated, underrated. You guys have been amazing. Hit that like button, stick with us. But I have to ask you before I get into it. You're running an ultra marathon in a few months. You're training for?
Yes.
What is an ultra marathon for those that don't know?
So a marathon is a 26-mile competition. Usually is getting done on a flat with no elevation surface.
Like a road race.
Yeah, like a road race. It's 26.2 miles, 42 kilometers. That's a marathon.
And that's
An
not
ultra
enough.
marathon is whatever that is more than a marathon. It can go anywhere from 50 kilometers to a few hundred kilometers.
So what are you doing?
I'm doing a 100-miler.
100-mile race?
Yeah, which is a little bit less than 100-mile, but
Who's counting? Where are you doing this?
I'm doing it in Tuscany, in Italy.
Why are you doing this?
My mom's asking me this question. My wife is asking me this question. I have no idea. It's I have to. That's what keeps my energy flow. That keeps me motivated. I have to do it.
And this race is in Italy?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, in March 22nd.
Beautiful. How do you train to run 100 miles?
I train a lot. I run 6 days a week, an average right now of about 40 to 50 miles a week, and it's growing as long as as close as I get to the competition. It can get to 70, 80 miles a week. I'm doing a lot of weightlifting just to get stronger, get the joints, get all the muscles in place. Of course, we need to take big consideration about what we eat. But you know, it's the ultra marathon is new to me. This will be the second one. I did one in Arizona last March in Antelope Canyon. It was a 50-miler, all on sand, so it was a really tough one.
Oh my gosh.
But before that, I did triathlons, and I think that most of my abilities right now are coming from those few years that I did Ironman competitions.
Ironman, and you've done how many Ironmans?
6.
6. Oh my gosh. And for people that maybe aren't aware, what it goes into an Ironman triathlon?
So full Ironman is 4 kilometers of swim, usually in the ocean, and then comes 112 miles or 180 kilometers of bike riding, and then comes a marathon.
And then a marathon. of the three categories, the swim, the bike, the marathon, which is the hardest?
It really depends on you. I mean, what you're good at. Not everybody can.
Well, for me, the easiest would be the swim because I would float on my back. I would just float, let the tide carry me, maybe with a pina colada, perhaps.
Yeah.
What's hardest for you?
So in the last race that I did in Nice, France, the bike ride was really hard for me. The weather was really bad. It was like over 90 degrees of heat.
Oh, wow.
And the elevations were really tough over there. It was over 8,000 feet of climbing.
And it was in France.
It was in France.
Like the Tour de France, where they go like up these mountains and around.
Same places, yeah. So it was World Championship, so I also had to, I was invited to participate, so it was like all the best in the world were there. So it was more challenging for me.
You were invited to the World Championships of Ironman?
Yeah, last year.
And you competed in that?
Yeah.
I mean, how did you do? I mean, I listen, it's an honor to even be invited and compete at that stage. I shouldn't even ask because it doesn't even matter, I guess, you know. You finished?
Of course.
Of course. Yeah, of course. I'd be dead. I'd be dead like on the first leg.
All my family came there. My parents and my brother and sister and their kids came from Israel. My friends from here came. My wife and kids, I have 4 kids, all came over there. So do you really think I cannot finish? It's like, it's not an option.
Yeah.
Not an
option. What did that feel like crossing the finish line?
That probably was the pinnacle of my life.
Of all the things you've done.
All the things.
Building this company twice over, 4 kids, marrying a wonderful wife, Ironman, that #1.
That specific competition was so hard, and I worked so hard to participate and to get invited. You get invited only if you did another one and your score was good enough in order to be invited. So I actually felt that I worked for 2 complete years, thousands of hours of practicing, and having my family over there, everything squeezed into that moment. That was the finish line, which was dark, of course. It was already 8 p.m. after almost 13 hours of racing. It was the pinnacle of it. Was.
Wow. That's amazing, man. Congratulations. That's inspiring. How do you balance the building a company? You're incredible at competing at such a high level in sport, you know, having a family, you have 4 kids and a wife and being a dad and a husband. How do you do all that?
So if you ask my wife, she'll say I'm not balancing. To the family, so I look at my life that I have really 4 main pillars, which are family, and not in that order necessarily. Family, friends, work, and family and sport.
Yeah, and sport.
And sport. So those are the things that I'm trying to get in a smart way, and to I need all these 4 things to work for me and to be involved in those things in order to live normal life for myself. So I need to do my sport in the morning, I need to be with my kids in the morning and in the afternoon and evening, vacations, my wife. Work is super important for me. I'm addicted to work. I love this company. Yeah. I'm in love with that company and that industry, as odd as it sounds, and the sport keep me sane. So somehow I found the balance. Sometimes I don't.
Well, maybe balance is the wrong word, right? Do we position this, like, do we frame this incorrectly? You know, where it's got to be balanced, where it's like, okay, you know, because balance implies, all right, friends 2 hours, family 2 hours, work 2 hours, exercise 2 hours. You know, it's like, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah. You need to find a way, and it's changing all the time, it's shifting, because if you feel that you did too much of one thing, for example, getting prepared to a competition, so after the competition is over, you're going to be more with your family, more with your friends, right, more at work. So that's how it's happening. It's always, there's something that is more important, that is more current. And that's how I do it. So I believe that preparing to that ultra marathon, I'm going to put thousands of hours to get prepared, to get ready, and it will come from family time, office time, and some friends' time, and I'm going to make up to them later.
Yeah, man, I'll make it up later. Daisy saying, Mr. Ironman, so impressed with the dedication and endurance you have both professionally and personally, truly inspiring. Daisy, you gonna run a marathon soon, Daisy? Is that what I'm hearing here? Max saying, I call it work-life integration. Yeah. I call it make it up later. I'll make it up to you later. Anthony saying, Ben's fashion game's on point, your runway material. Thank you. It's like a plane runway, perhaps. This is great. All right, let's play a game. Y'all want to play a game? We're going along here. We're going to play a game. All right, let's do it. Overrated, underrated. This game is very straightforward. Do you know the rules of this game? No. Okay, no. There's two rules. One, I will give you a topic, and you will tell me if it is either underrated or overrated. Those are your two answers. You can't deviate from those, but you can explain yourself. Two, I will tell you if you are correct. All right, let's play. Overrated, underrated. Number one, GHC's impact on relocation. Is that underrated or overrated?
That's a strong one. The way it's positioned right now, the GHC, it's overrated because it's hardly touched anything yet.
Yeah, and you're 100%. What do they move, like 80 shipments and they're all locals?
Yeah. So it's highly overrated.
Yeah.
But if things will go according to their plans, it will be probably underrated. So right now,
overrated.
Crazy overrated.
You know what? I think I think you're 100% spot on there. One point for Leo. All right, let's go. Next one up, overrated, underrated. Independent movers.
Underrated.
Yeah, why?
I think that being an independent mover is, it's so much harder than being belong to, let's say, a big organization, van line, franchise that gives you all the guidelines, all the knowledge, maybe some even financial support, you name it. And being like a single mover with no connection, starting from nothing, taking a huge risk, using your own or your family's money, is a big thing, and not everybody can do it. So definitely underrated.
Yeah, I agree, and I think this is where the innovation comes from, right? You know, whereas you have 100 agents that might belong to a van line and all basically rely on the van line for marketing and branding and billing and claims and safety and all that stuff, right? You know, if you take 100 independent movers, they're going to have 50 different ways to do customer acquisition. They're going to have 50 different brandings. And you're going to start to see innovation, right? Like, you know, and people doing wild stuff and trying different things. And I just feel like it's so much more interesting, you know, what the independents are doing. And they're so much more nimble. And I just love it, right? They're more aggressive. They're out there just turning over all these rocks and playing with different business models. You see a lot more employee, based companies, which I think, honestly, the margins can be better and you can be even more nimble.
Creativity also. You see a lot of different characters. I mean, if you're going to send you one way, you're going to look that way. That's how you're going to look. That's how your trucks are going to look. That's how your people are going to look. You have more option for creativity. I think it's different kind of people will go to that direction and the other direction.
Yeah, and I think the challenge is getting buyers to understand the beauty and the value in the differences and the diversity in the independent moving community. Because I think large buyers have been conditioned to look for van line affiliation. And they see, oh, you're an agent of this van line, oh, you must be good, and therefore I can do business with you. And, oh, you're an independent mover, I've never heard of you, it must be bad. And I think that's a fallacy. I think that's a really dangerous assumption that people jump to. So independent movers have the responsibility and also the opportunity to brand themselves and raise their profile. And frankly, I enjoy working with independent movers because, we get an opportunity to tell that story, So it's pretty cool. I think independent movers are becoming a lot more sophisticated too. I mean, you're seeing a lot more independent movers that are in the military, game, which has kind of gotten people used to dealing with bureaucracy and all the, requirements. You're seeing them get into the corporate space more. You're seeing them do a lot more on the O&I and commercial space. So I think the sophistication of independent movers, it's not just local moving anymore. I mean, you have some independent movers of some serious size and scale now. All right, 2 points. All right, here we go. Anthony's chiming in and said, Lior, I love your philosophy on family, work, sports, and friends. It's not about perfect balance, but finding what makes you happy. Yeah, Move Happy. How fitting that your company is called Move Happy. Happiness really is at the heart of it all. Yeah, for sure. John is saying, balance is the guarantee you're investing more time in what gives you energy to everything else you need to do. That changes constantly. Interesting. All right, 2 points. Let's go. Number 3. Overrated, underrated. Tel Aviv.
Underrated.
Underrated? Why? I've never been to Tel Aviv. People say it's amazing.
For me, it's not overrated. It's just rated where it is. For me, Tel Aviv is a wild place.
What's it like? To give us an idea.
It's like Miami and New York combined together on steroids.
Wow.
It's 24/7.
Really?
The ocean, the lifestyle, the food, the ambience, the people. You have people people that feel. I'm talking about the LGBT community. Well, everything is free and open. Everything is correct. Everything is right over there.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I love Tel Aviv. It's probably one of my favorite places in the world.
Should I go visit?
100%.
100%. What should I do if I go to Tel Aviv?
Take
me out. Rule number one. I love it. All right. You know what? I've been hearing that. Well, it's funny for people that have been there. I hear it's amazing. You got to go. But when you talk to a lot of people who have never even been there, it's not even on their radar, their top 10 things they're going to go do. So I gotta think it's underrated.
Yes.
I gotta think it's underrated. People aren't checking for Tel Aviv right now.
Yeah.
All right, next one up. Overrated, underrated. The Lakers.
That's hurting. Overrated, and the thing that LeBron did with his son is just
the Bronny thing. You're not a fan of the Bronny move?
Man, it's horrible. It's just a disgrace to you have probably the best player in the history of the game, or the second best.
Yeah.
With an amazing legacy that is still ongoing, getting his son in order to get another new record on the book of records that he already have as the only player that played with his son, and his son is not for this league. He's far away from this league, and I hated it. So I don't know. I didn't even went to this year. I usually go into many games. This year I haven't went to a single game.
I haven't been watching Bronny this season. I watched him a little bit in the preseason. But do you think some of this is just being a rookie and he's going to grow out of it and he's going to get better maybe year 2?
I don't think
he'll never be good enough to play.
I don't think he have what it gets. I wish he'll surprise me. Yeah. I don't think he got it.
Yeah. Lakers are like the Cowboys. I'm a Dallas Cowboys football fan, right? Everybody says we're overrated all the time, and frankly we are, because we get so much publicity, and our product is, I'd say, above average, right? And Lakers, it's like, did they make the playoffs last year? Not sure if they did. Okay, maybe they did. But it's like, the Lakers, yeah, man. What the best brand in basketball, you might argue. New York Knicks fans would argue that, but at least the Lakers have won more recently.
And the Celtics also. Yeah, Celtics would argue it.
That's a great brand too. Anthony Ships and Laker Nation in the house. Anthony, what do you think? Overrated, underrated Lakers, huh? I think they're overrated.
Yeah,
they are.
Yeah, highly overrated.
Sorry, I wish we got to go to a Laker game though. I want to check it out
next time.
Maybe they can play my Mavs. My Mavs team, that's an underrated squad right there. Luka. All right, last one up here. Overrated, underrated. Hawaii.
Underrated.
Underrated.
No doubt, the best place in the world.
The best place in the world?
Oh, yeah.
Why is that?
For me personally, since my footsteps on Hawaii land, And since I started to do business in Hawaii, everything went for the good for me.
Wow.
Only good things came out of Hawaii. I love the weather, no doubt, the best in the world, but also business, if you're talking about business.
Is it a good business environment, Hawaii?
That's a hard question. If you're talking about employees, no, it's pretty tough. The mentality over there is more laid back. They don't usually like working on Sundays, extra hours, and I don't want to sound like complaining or anything like it. We have great employees over there, over 50 to 60 employees that we have for years, and I can't really complain because they're doing everything. But it's not the same like here. I can have like guys from here perform.
Well, the work ethic in the United States, I mean, is known kind of globally, right? I mean, we take less vacation than anybody else in the world, it seems like. We work more hours than most people. I mean, maybe there's some countries, obviously, that exceptions, but, the American work ethic has historically been pretty high here on the continental United States, CONUS, right?
Yeah.
So not surprising. I mean, I always find this, sorry, y'all, sorry about, I don't mean to upset anybody out there, but, I always feel like when the weather's really good somewhere, people are a little more chill and they don't work as hard. When the weather's crap, people are just like, well, I'm just going to work again,
Maybe they're right and we're wrong.
Yeah, they might be right.
Yeah, maybe that's the way we all should be. I'm just used to something else, so I'm a little bit critic about it. But still, for me, Hawaii is the best place in the world.
Wow.
And everything I ever touched in the Hawaii land did good to me.
Yeah.
I love going there. We own a condo over there, so we're visiting a lot. I just came back last week from there. We have a warehouse, we have a company, we have the lifestyle. I'm a diver. 3 of my girls are diving, just dove with me in Hawaii. It was an amazing thing. Hawaii is the best place.
It's your happy place.
Yes, it's surely a happy place.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's wonderful. I've never been to Hawaii.
Should.
Yeah, what do I do when I go to Hawaii?
Go to my condo.
Go to Lior's place. There you go.
Visit Anthony.
Visit Anthony. I'll visit Anthony. I'll hang out at Lior's place. It'll be a good time. I know I'll love it. That might be the only place I blend in by the beach. Hang out with my friends over there. But this has been a lot of fun, everybody. Thanks for hanging in there. Hit that like button. Throw some love in the comments for Lior. This has been a really special conversation. You love the transparency, I love the passion for the business, and
thank you.
And just being so open and honest with us and sharing your story has been incredible. I'm loving the Move Happy vibes I'm getting here in the office. You got a wonderful team here. The camaraderie and the passion and the purpose for the business is apparent, and I think you guys are doing some really special things, and it's really cool to kind of get to be a part of it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks everybody for being here. Tune in next week. We got some cool shows for you. I hope you're enjoying the new camera angles, some of the new graphics we got going on. Shout out to everybody in the comments, Max and Anthony and Daisy and Jill and Adrian and Jana and everybody here chiming in over here has been phenomenal. Tia, what's up Tia? Karen, thanks everybody for getting in here. Hit that like button one more time and we will see y'all next week. Shout out to Samara also, great job producing this today. Take care y'all.